Isaiah's Nativity, Parable, Chapter 5, An Ensign unto the Nations, the Book of the Oracles, beginning from whence it was as thus declared, bearing record of Isaiah, the captive. And though he doth bear witness of himself, his testimony is yet true. For it was revealed unto him through the holy Scriptures, his commission in the end of days, that all righteousness would be fulfilled, according to all that which is written in the prophets. And Adonai will lift up an ensign to the nations from far, and will hiss unto them from the end of the earth. And behold, they shall come with speed swiftly. As in another place, and in that day there shall be a root of Yishai, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. Moreover, Isaiah took up his parable about the time of his rising, touching his nativity. And thus said he, Now there once was a woman, who, being fair and fruitful, didst bear many pleasant and comely children, as at the time of youth, who, toward her latter, walked naked and barefoot, as a sign and for a wonder, concerneth the things which must shortly come to pass. And in the process of time came it to pass that the woman, being with child, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered, brought forth all her children, her Yachid, a son who is to stand as a sign for all nations. But Satan stood afore the woman to resist her at the time appointed, in which she was ready to be delivered, for to destroy her child as soon as it was born. Notwithstanding, the woman, soon to flee, would escape her trouble unto a place Yahuwah Adoni hadst prepared for her, that where he is, there she would be also. Thus the woman, rescued of El, accomplished her times of trouble. Wherefore Yahuwah Shammah didst number her days, 62. Then also said he, Yet there was another woman, who was a widow, well stricken in years beyond childbearing, and she accomplished her days of about 64. For she, departing not from the temple, did so till she couldst no longer. And she served her Eloah in obedience, and in sacrifice continually, both night and day. Now the widow, before her days were fulfilled, prayed she unto Yahuwah Yireh, to receive a child to raise, though her womb being shut up by reason of old age. And although she wast well beyond years of child-rearing, gave she thanks likewise unto Yahusha, her Eloah, for she counted him faithful, he who had promised. And the widow laudingly extolled him, even publicly for being El Elyon, yea, on account of her already answered prayers, though then not as of yet seen. Therefore, in the process of time came it to pass that before the woman fled away, she inquired of the widow to take her son to care for him, knowing the day of her departure hadst drawn closely nigh at hand. For the woman was greatly afflicted with weakness and infirmity. Thus the child was given in unto the care of the widow immediately after it was born. And in those days there were certain women, 2 of whom, devout worshippers there in the temple, who, greatly filled with the Ruach Yahuwah, anointed the widow, the woman, and her belly with child, that it mayest be set apart unto Yahuwah Mekodishkem, even afore birth. Thus came it to pass that as the child grew, waxed he strong in grace, endowed with the Ruach Etzah, the Ruach Chokmah, and the Ruach Da'ath, for the favor of Yah rested upon him, even in troublous times. Therein, the land of decreed captivity. And in the infancy of youth, as when the Ruach Chen V'Tachanunim came there upon him, came it to pass also that the young child made he his request unto Yahuwah Nisi, that he would one day learn to handle gloriously music, to play upon the organ found within the sanctuary of the temple. Yet, as the child grew continually, troubled he the widow, who wast well beyond years of child-rearing, and, as a thorn in the flesh, troubled he the widow so exceedingly, that if it were possible, it would hath repented her for raising him as her very own. Yet, though knowing not what purpose it was placed there to fulfill, proved it to be a blessing, though, in the latter years, according to the process of her prayers. For the widow's prayers were fully answered, and though she did not get to see the blessing of the performed promise in her lifetime, as thus worked she faithfully in Yahuwah's vineyard, laboring till she couldst no longer, trusting always in his holy promises.